I think it goes gradually, and it has gone gradually off last couple of years. Bitcoin is a bit exotic. It's new, so you can't. Well, most people don't know it, but once you see it and once you get it, once you read the white paper, you get what Bitcoin is. Then you cannot go back. You once you've seen, you cannot unsee, is what I say, and especially if you have a quantitative background. So I guess especially hedge fund guys who are used to spotting opportunities and using quantitative analysis and maybe algos to trade and invest. These investor groups are specifically open to recognizing asymmetric bets like Bitcoin.
Is this your homework, Larry?
Just ask him about the car, man.
Is this yours, Larry? Is this your homework, Larry?
Is that your car out front?
Is this your homework, Larry?
We know it's his fucking homework. Where's the fucking money, you little brat?
Bitcoin had one hell of a rally this weekend, guys, breaking the $19,000 level yet again. However, in doing so, left a CME gap down below $19,000. We're going to talk a little bit about the Bitcoin and gold chart. We'll definitely talk about our favorite altcoin, Ethereum, and then we'll definitely see what the dollar is up to and if that will have any effect on short-term and long-term Bitcoin price action. But before we get into today's TA, if you guys could please hit that like and subscribe. I definitely appreciate the love, and don't forget to ding that bell to stay up to date on all of the latest and the greatest. All right, taking a look at this Bitcoin 4-hour chart. Again, you can see we got this double bottom. Bitcoin had a nice rally, almost a parabolic move, all the way up to $19,300, and we're right now just holding support right above the $19,120 level. Now, we did leave a CME gap down here. The chart is showing that we have a gap from 18,475 all the way up to $19,065. Now, there is a very strong chance Bitcoin could come down and fill that, but in doing so would add some nice bullish confluence to the idea that this is an ascending triangle, which is a bullish pattern that breaks bullish about 62% of the time. So this is what we're looking at right now. We do know that we have the gap down below us, and we're keeping that in mind as we look to possibly enter into some trades. But right now, Bitcoin is holding support right above the yearly R3, and it just so happens to coincide with the 382 fib extension from the previous corrective move. So right now we're looking for a move possibly back down to this lower trend line of this ascending triangle, and in doing so, Bitcoin would then close that CME gap up and we won't have to worry about it anymore. But right now, you know, it looks to be possibly testing this upper trend line of this ascending triangle, but I do see it coming down, and at least coming down to the 382, giving us a possible re-entry right here if you're looking to trade this price action. And I have my first target, which is actually the measured move of this ascending triangle, right at $22,417. But as long as the bulls stay in charge, we should continue this move to the upside. There are a few things though that we should take a look at that might give us some short-term downside out of Bitcoin. So this is the Bitcoin gold chart, and as you can see here, we are in a falling wedge. We did come up to test this upper trend line once again, but Bitcoin looks to be headed back to the downside to test this lower trend line of this falling wedge again. Now, it's not necessarily bearish, but it will give us some bearish short-term price action, which is something we definitely need to keep our eyes out for if we're trading this market. Let's go ahead and actually look at Bitcoin dominance. So Bitcoin, after the nice rally this weekend, we didn't really see alts take a hit. Actually, the alt market's performing pretty decently right now, but Bitcoin dominance is again testing this upper trend line of this falling wedge. And if Bitcoin were to break this falling wedge bullish, we could see it capture another 16 to 17% of market cap dominance again. And as you know, that would really make altcoins take a pretty bad hit. But you know, I'm not really sure that is going to happen, because taking a look at this DXY again, you know, it is fairly bearish. It's been heading to the downside for quite some time now. We broke across this GAN and we did come up and we got the bearish retest, letting us know that we should get some bearish continuation here. But we do appear to finally be getting a bounce on the DXY, which could give us an indication that price may be ready to head to the downside for Bitcoin if the dollar continues this possible correction. It's consolidating right now, whether it moves down or whether it moves up. That's really something that we're going to have to wait and see, but I'll be honest, it really does not look very bullish to me right now. We have a possible head and shoulders, which would put us down a little further, but I have our next continuation target for the DXY just under 88% on the index, which is a level that the DXY has not seen for quite some time. Let's actually see how long it has been. It hasn't been that low since, well, the early February of 2018, and then prior to that, March of 2014. So it has been a while since we've seen this kind of bearish movement out of the dollar, but it does appear to be continuing further to the downside, which in fact is really good for Bitcoin. However, you know, just because the dollar's losing strength, not only Bitcoin, but just about everything else is going to go up in price as well. Looking at the S&P 500, this is the weekly chart. Again, you know, it's hitting new all-time highs. It's completely ridiculous. It's only due to the Fed printing absurd amounts of money and buying up all these assets. But we have this very strong bearish divergence here, which has not played out yet. And when it does, I really do have a feeling we will finally see the correction we've all been waiting for out of the DXY. And when that happens, we could see a 20 to 35% move. Conservative, I have here coming back down to this macro 618, right at $2,781. But I do see new all-time highs in the very near future for the S&P 500. But the way a lot of things in the markets are going, I'm looking at late February, early March of 2021 to keep our eyes peeled for a possible another market crash. All right, so we took a look at the Bitcoin dominance, and it is looking possibly bullish, but if, you know, we do get rejected at that upper trend line, we could expect some nice movement out of altcoins. And why not start with the number one altcoin, Ethereum, our favorite one. This is the Ethereum 7-hour chart. I don't know why I'm on 7 hours. Here's the Ethereum 2-hour chart. Basically the same thing. Lower time frame. This is what we're looking at now. It does appear to be in an ascending triangle, just like Bitcoin, with some pretty heavy overhead resistance at this 0.5 extension, right at the $620 level. But right now, it does look like we might be getting Ethereum to take a breath here before it tests this upper trend line yet again, which could bring the price back down to the 236 extension right at about $542, or we could get a bounce right here at $560 of the lower trend line of this ascending triangle. But it's actually holding support just above this 382 extension, and if we do get a bounce here, we could see the price move up to right around $624. Now, trading this price action right now is definitely something to watch. We are looking for price to come down at least to this lower trend line before trying to enter. We did post this trade yesterday, so we are in a very low leverage long right here with Ethereum. Again, you can see a very clear double bottom here in this price action. A very nice Adam and Eve on a lower time frame, to be very honest with you. You have your Adam and then you have your Eve, and then this would be your neckline, or you could have the 382 here as a neckline. But then once the neckline would be broken, we would be looking at a measured move. Say this is the neckline, this 382 extension. A breakout from there would put us right at, would put us right at $643.44 from here. So again, Ethereum is looking bullish as well. The promising coins right now, and of course Bitcoin, are looking extremely bullish, not to mention the incredible amount of bullish news